This is the Hard Reset Origin, newly added to the Synthetic Dawn DLC in 4.0. This origin is deemed as challenging by the devs, and they weren't lying. This was pretty tough to get going, let me tell you that. Alongside of the negative mechanics to your empire, there's also a long, dark, and immersive story to go along with it. In this video, I'm going to attempt this origin completely blind, to see if firstly I can survive, then to check out the story with you guys, then hopefully we can get to a point where we can thrive using the origin, the mechanics it adds, and the rewards for completing it. This is a long video as it's the complete origin playthrough. F's in chat for the editor. Let's get into it. So here we are playing a new origin, Hard Reset. This origin was added to Synthetic Dawn, so if you have that DLC already, you can already use it. Now this is a challenging origin. We've abruptly severed from the machine that assimilated us. This nascent civilization has fought fiercely to establish its own presence in the galaxy. We get a bunch of homeworld modifiers like battlefield recovery, reducing pop amenity usage by 50%, but it will expire in 10 years. Countless cyborgs and machines lay dead across the world following a brutal attempt at extermination. Healthy individuals and walking wounded alike may scavenge their bodies for upgrades. Our home system will contain a tomb world with an archaeological site related to a decimated pre-FTL civilization. Now we also do start with cyber commandos, unplugged, and we get access to cybernetic traits. We cannot actually remove these, but they're zero cost. Cyber commandos gives us army damage 75%, but minus 20% pop growth speed. But when we're at war or the crisis is active, we get 30% happiness. Also, commanders provide 20% ship fire rate. That's quite a lot. Then we have a negative trait, unplugged, or at least it looks red. Our pop amenity usage is +1, which is quite annoying. That means each pop is using an extra amenity. We have minus 20 years to lead a lifespan, and we get minus 10% happiness when we're not at war or crisis. So going to war will actually be a net 40%. Now, we do get access to a bunch of other traits, and what I really like about this origin is you can actually build it in the way that you want. Our roleplay is the fact that we're trying to use science to actually fix whatever has happened. I don't actually know what happens in this origin, but we're going for the tech playthrough because we can go intelligent for 10% research efficiency, natural engineers for 15% engineers, and then bionic engineers for a further 15%. 40% engineering, we're going to build, hopefully, big old mechanical engineered ships. We're combining that with masterful crafters, which gives us artisans, which produce more consumer goods. And we also get trade. We're basically being engineers, engineering our way out of this. And then to fit with that, a new civic, civil education. But education has supplanted law enforcement. So we're trying to educate, research, and get better. Enforcers are replaced with educators, giving us a unity, reduce crime, and governing ethics attraction, and spawning defense armies, which also get the buffs, so people can't really invade us. We also get the state academy, which gives those educated jobs, and per level we get minus 0.5 upkeep. We've then got militarist because we have to, egalitarian for a bit more specialist output, and materials for more research speed, and hopefully we can get some robots as well to actually help us with our lacking pop growth. Even though we just left machines, we're going to be enslaving machines to help us. We are playing on standard EP3 settings, Grand Admiral, Small Galaxy, Max AIs, mid-game scaling, but at year 50, and 0.5 tech and tradition cost, because I don't want to be here for hours and hours and hours. Let's get into it. I have no idea what this origin's really about, but the dev diary is very, very vague on purpose. Hard Reset. Awareness struck us in a frenzy of scorching weapons, fire, and crippling pain. Our senses reeled as though an all-encompassing soundscape had suddenly turned mute. In its place is the deafening ring of a dead transmission, a bass note in the multi-sensory hellscape we now find ourselves in. Something wants to kill us. Murderous machines, devoid of organic components, and piloting ships which bear a striking resemblance to our own. Their initial attack was devastating and sudden, but it was also poorly coordinated. We scrambled a military response. Our instincts have driven us to fight back, form a rudimentary hierarchy, and gather our collective wits. The battle is not yet won, but with our scattered forces now secure on Freebird, oh yeah, we hope it soon will be. Then perhaps we can work out what any of this is about. Begin. So we start with Freebird here with military ships in our starting system. Oh my word. We then have a tomb world, which we obviously can't colonize. It's got 100 devastation too. And then we're surrounded by fleets of increasing power. And they're obviously on one of our worlds anyway. Am I going to have to actually build ships to start the game? In terms of text then, let's get more armor. I mean, the pop growth speeds and naval cap and fleet capacity don't really matter when we don't have the alloys to build stuff. We'll then get shields, really try and actually buff our ships to start with. Planet is reducing the amenities, which is great because we do have, why is it 0? Maybe the game has to play to actually calculate that. Let's play and see what happens. It immediately starts with a war. Our starbase and corvettes fighting over this capital. Trying to keep an eye on what weapons they're using. It looks like some lasers. They had shield and armor. I don't know why we're going off here. Oh, there is a ship there. Looks like they will fall though. I mean, it would be wild if we lost off the start. I don't think that would be possible. They have gotten away from the starbase though. We've lost a corvette. That's not ideal. We lost a corvette, but victory is ours. No sooner had we awoken into this universe when these violent machines tried to remove us from it. However, it seems we were more adept at wielding violence than they were. The so-called Opus accumulator has taken a great loss today. Our intel suggests their empire has fragmented beyond recognition, surely not as a result of this minor skirmish. We know so little at the moment, but our instincts, they tell us something is off. Sensors detect no more hostile ships in our immediate vicinity, but high levels of radiation are emanating from the Desire 5 planet in the system. That is our tomb world. Remnant fleets have also been detected in neighboring systems, seemingly holding their positions. Where do we go from here? Okay, so we do get the Ruined Cradle archaeological site. The surface of Desire 5 planet bears the scars of systematic devastation, blasted landscapes, collapsed cities, and an eerie silence. Initial scans suggest a once thriving pre-FDL society existed here, till something brought about a catastrophic end. The scattered remains whisper of an untold horror. Uh-oh. I'm going to research that straight away, as it may let us get buffs against them. I don't know. I mean, we're trapped. We can't survey anyway. We may as well do that. Now, I am a bit annoyed we lost the corvette. Can't lie. It's fine. I think we have to focus maybe on alloys. I just don't have enough housing. It looks like we're actually using the amenities now. So amenity usage, when we click on the freed workers here, we have 1,495 amenity usage, because we have one from worker, one from a plug, and then we're halving it. But we only have 10 years of that. Amenities might get a bit mad. I'm playing on the 4.0.3 patch, as the game is getting massively updated constantly, but I don't want to wait. We still do have good luxury residences, but please don't nerf them. Please no. Okay, to start the game off, I want to buy some minerals. We need to get our economy going. We can't spend food at the minute, so I'm going to sell food. And honestly, I'm going to see how many alloys I can buy. Let's see what the month tick does. And we're minus 25. Now, I do want the energy because we can get pops from sprawling slums, we can get society research from battlefield remains, and more max mining districts from abandoned strip mine. Let's stop buying alloys then, I guess. I'm going to build a mining district straight away so that we can get our economy going. We do have civilians, and the great thing is, we do have the State Academy. Now, they did just add a planet limit, which is annoying because I want to do a civilian-only run. The State Academy will give science per civilian, which is pretty nice because we start off with 1.5 thousand of them. They're giving us a nice chunk of science compared to here, which is giving us a nice, quicker start. Now, we could actually try and save up to build more of them, which might be good. We also get educator jobs, which are giving us less crime and a bit of unity. So I might try and build a bunch of educations. Ambient dissonant calming. This is from the Machine Legacy Adventure, which I believe is to do with its origin. A subtle carrier signal lies dormant in the cosmic radiation surrounding our star, Desire. We have isolated an audio stream that's characterized by haunting deep tones and distorted feedback. Every freed who has heard the stream finds it soothing and familiar, yet none can explain why. Like the Doctor Who. Oh no. We suspect the Opus accumulator must be involved. The signal source appears to be in the Valmar system. Our star charts have been updated accordingly. We should investigate. I am blocked by 321. We will build. Now, we do get our first tradition. I am torn between fully trying to break out here with supremacy. We'll get more ship fire rate, ship speed, more command limit, naval capacity. The issue is they don't have starbases, so supremacy is really good because you get 20% damage versus starbases, which is huge early game. Now, we could obviously go statecraft to buff up our leaders. You know how it is. We even get prosperity, more resources for jobs, less upkeep, less infrastructure cost. Amenities is also going to be an issue eventually. So So would we want harmony, or do we continue to commit down discovery, giving us research speed? Unless I think we go economy because we want alloys to spam ships. They don't have starbases. We go prosperity. Will let us build up planets quickly when we get them as well. And it kind of fits the theme with the Master Crafter's engineering. We want to engineer a better future, so we'll try and do that. We have enough energy to clear sprawling slums. We will queue that up immediately. I do probably want to build some alloy foundries eventually. Now, I think we want to redesign our ships so that we have more armor and hull damage because their shields dropped quickly. We did have nuclear missiles on before, and one mass driver to then get through the shield. I tend to like going more armor than shields, especially early on. We could even go full armor, but I don't know what their damages are. It looked like they did have red lasers, so we'll have one shield component. We'll replace that design, and then we just look to build as many as we damn can. We do have a level 3 cyber commando here. Crit fire rate 20%. Pretty nice. Now we can't really expand, so we may as well go isolationist for unity. We could even go for militarized economy, but our consumer could suck because of the upkeep on civilians from the state academy. I think we'll massively benefit from actually building a district, which will give us research, unity, and then alloys and consumer good jobs. Luckily, we have now got that mineral job going. We do lose some civilians. Let's start upgrading. I think we have to just spend all our alloys on fleets. I mean, there's no point doing anything else. Alloys are usually used to expand, and we cannot do that unless we have ships. We'll then upgrade the city district, and then we'll set auto construct on our construction ships, so we start getting a little bit more of these deposits to eke out the economy as much as we can. Up to 6 corvettes soon. We should be matching their fleet power, but I want to go a bit higher so we don't take as many losses, which will let us kill the rest of them quicker. Let's get politician, let's get more happiness, and let's probably expand the council. The ruined cradle. The initial survey of Desire 5 reveals a shattered world. Decimated villages, roads littered with abandoned belongings, and structures scorched by heat signatures, far beyond what a pre-FTL society could ever have produced. Whatever descended upon this world brought devastation swiftly and deliberately. The precision of the destruction suggests an organized assault, though no bodies are in sight. The evidence is clear. The population fled, though not far enough. Disturbing, we get some society research. So in terms of traditions, let's reduce the cost of planetary infrastructure. That will help so much. Or then we can actually go straight with planetary infrastructure upkeep. Resources from jobs. Why did I just get so much unity? What? Fair enough. That helps a lot. Then I'm definitely going to get rid of the battlefield remains for the society research. Then we can look into building another district, most likely. The great thing about building the city district will also fix the consumer goods, but we also are getting trade from the artisans, 10 trade. So we can buy more minerals or even more alloys. So our stuff has gone up. Very nice. The trade didn't actually move. I guess it's because I don't know why. Also, I have noticed empires start with hydro bays now. Do we just get that tech off rip for people? I don't understand why we do. I think we do. It's starting tech now. Meta tips: get rid of your crew quarters and build a hydro bay immediately. We need to talk about ... Other political wills now augment the many fears, doubts, and opportunities we freed experience every day. Countless voices can already be heard in discussion groups that have formed around all manner of issues, some of which directly address our Opus past. We've already learned to wield a great many unfamiliar tools in the course of bootstrapping our young empire. The question before us now is, how shall we channel the desires and ambitions of our people? There's no time for idle debate. Factions with opposing views on the cybernetic future of our species may now emerge. Oh no, we did get factions founded. They should start filling up. We'll see what happens with these before we support different ones. Our Martial Alliance is currently the strongest but hates us the most. So what do they want? They want oppressive subjugation policy. We'll appease them for now. We have low naval capacity usage. I mean, we're working on that. I'm sorry. We could even get this guy with more ship hull points. That'll be nice. Then they want representation on the council. I get what you mean. You do not have a militarist. Maybe we can find a governor that's militarist. We could. So with this leader, I mean, none of this matters then. We'll just get stability because we could switch them on. Prosperity has also finished. We can go an ascension perk. We can go flesh as weak straight away. We can go flesh as weak straight away. What? We could also do synthetic. We can de-cybernize to go psionics. Wow, okay. But we cannot go biomorphosis. I mean, it's here. We can go it early. I'm going it. We're also an engineer build. We have to. Right, we have to. Okay, so let's fix the council because I now have almost the unity to fix that. We could actually save up for level 2 leader. Why not? They might have a trait that they can get. They're militarist. Put you on. They did not. But we could get even more trade from jobs. Or we could get unity. Oh, this is hard. Or energy. Energy is not really an issue. It's unity or trade. Let's go trade. Level 2 trade. Put them on the capital. I'll buff up a trade income. And we need to keep building stuff. I forgot to do that. Sorry. Deeper excavation has provided more insights into the nature of the conflict. Scattered across the ruins are melted husks of machinery. Advanced cybernetic constructs, not unlike our own implants. Like us, these were not simple weapons. They were living tools of war, simultaneously mechanical and biological. It's too soon to draw conclusions, but it's disturbing to reflect on the fact that this is the very system in which we suddenly awoke. Worse still are the few intact markings of the war machines, disturbing symbols that suggest their invaders' true goal was not conquest, but rather something far more systematic. More questions than answers, we get more society research, and we continue to dig. Speaking of, you should check if you have a dig site leader, because that will progress the situation quicker. Don't know what the rewards are, but let's continue making ships. We're at 478. I'm just scared, okay? I'm a little bit scared. Can you blame me? But I think we can get the max alloys, which if you don't know the inflation prices, you can check them out. Discord pinned in the Stellaris channel. Basically, 10 is the max because you'll constantly be buying at 5.2 without this inflating. Pretty smart. Let's get more research speed. I always forget to build the monument because it gives unity per civilians. These are so good early game since you have so many civilians, but our unity is pretty good anyway. It's not the biggest deal. I just need to stop being a dumb idiot, basically. Now, if you are enjoying this video and you want to buy Stellaris or any of the DLCs like Synthetic Dawn, where this origin comes from, or the new Biogenesis, you can use my link or code on the Paradox store to give this channel a kickback and directly support these videos for something you already want to play. It's a win-win. You can use any creator's code. Mine is EP for Stellaris, or the link is in the description and pinned comment. It's greatly appreciated. Now let's get back on with the video. More ships and upgrade them. So we did get the shield and armor, so we're looking a bit stronger. I think we are ready. 10 ships that are upgraded, 614. We definitely can go and explore and push out. We should probably get a science ship as well, because the other science ship is doing excavation stuff. So there are 6 ships here. We have no starbase to help us. But hopefully we work through them here. You can see the changes. Yes. Don't lose any. Don't lose any. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We're going to go back and heal, and we could even start trying to push out further. Let's get another scientist going. There is a dig site leader, so we'll put them there, but then actually swap them. So Zogovok is now doing the dig siting, and now Cecil will go and research these debris because they can give us some component, at least progress to it, and then we will go and explore the system. Onwards, we did just get powered exoskeletons, and now we can actually try and get robots. Assembling pops instead of growing them is so good. Let's get more unity. Now, what did this ascension actually do? You can just go down cybernetics next. Cool, because we're already cybernetic, I guess. Very interesting. Let's build an extra ship, and then let's go and clear out this other barrier fleet. We did just get 20 physics research and 10% to specialized combat computers, which will help in the future. And yes, we have unlocked cybernetics, but we need the integrated cybernetics tech. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Let's just go supremacy while we wait. We just went into the system, and there's a 1,000 size fleet over this tomb world. Oh dear. Wait, how trapped are we? Let me explore. And to be fair, we can actually go and take this out so we can actually get a second planet. That would be, I think, quite useful. Here we go. They are stronger. They do have a destroyer. We have lost a ship, but it looks like we're going to win with minimal losses. They have gone down. Perfect. There's a tundra world there as well. We might actually be able to leave. Yes. Unless there's something here. There is not. Okay. Let's survey our habitable worlds. We do have more progress on the dig site. We have uncovered what was once a sprawling communications hub. Buried beneath the ruins of a fortified city, this facility was far more advanced than expected for a pre-FTL society. What's more, its antennas arrays were not designed for local broadcasts. They're calibrated to transmit into deep space. Painstaking analysis managed to extract fragments of the final messages sent through the system in garbled transmissions. Voices pled for salvation, desperately hailing unknown coordinates far beyond the system. The urgency grows with each broadcast, as though the planet's invaders knew they were fighting a losing war and placed their last hope in something or someone out in the void. More society research, and they will continue digging. I'm a bit scared, but I want colony ships. I just keep building city districts, I think. Keep them coming. We do have 3.6 years until top amenity usage goes a bit mad. What I'm going to do, we're going to build that xenobiological lab because we'll get more society research per biologist. That seems good. And then we'll queue up the luxury residents to prepare for that amenity loss. Now, we can't really take on a 700 because we're 600 fleet strength, so we're going to need to keep building corvettes after our colony ship. To be fair, I kind of want to just build a second one, and then we will start preparing. Let's get that ship fire rate. We'll go up from 614 to 614. It didn't change. I have a feeling fleet power might be slightly bugged, at least the visual of it. Let's get those basic combat rolls since we did a little bit of that. And the components here will give us a bunch of stuff. We can actually see what they're running. They have medium blue lasers, combat computers. We want that stuff. So let's survey, then research project. We still want to explore this system, but they have 1,000 there. Can't do that yet. More ship build speed. There's some surveyed. Construct. It does cost alloys, but that's fine. And more excavation speed, yes. We can now build robots, and we can get a material workshop for more engineering research, yes, because the percentages will go on to that. We found a fanatic xenophobe, fallen empire, all the way down there. That's fine. Let's colonize. Our first colony, we can either get physics research and materialist ethics attraction for 20 years. That's quite good. Militarist for society, or food, egalitarian. These just mainly affect your factions. Our biggest one is the egalitarian one, so let's just go for that. The food, though, I don't want the food, but I'll do it. And then they want benevolent, so we could eventually switch back, but we can't for a while. So the xenobiological lab is going to see our biology go up by, what was that, 22? That's how good those labs are. We are almost running out of the amenities. We only have 102, so that housing is going to come at the perfect time. And let's just keep building more corvettes. And because we have a 0 income, let's sell the 0. Now we have enough amenities, especially when this expires. 2.4. We might need another luxury residence. The reason I'm building those is at the minute the math works out to actually be better. One holofit is giving us 1,000 amenities and free unity, whereas a luxury resident gives housing and amenities but 2.5 times more. So I might just remove the holotheater for luxury residents if it's not fixed. Changing priorities. Another discovery on Desire 5, where vast subterranean chambers have been located beneath the planet's major population center. The crude, brutal facilities were meant for cybernetic conversion, but were abandoned mid-operation. Scattered remains of machines have been found among the wreckage, warped and destroyed by makeshift weapons. Data fragments recovered from a damaged unit confirm the invaders face unexpected resistance. Entire battalions were lost, and battle priorities began to shift. One log spells it out clearly. Resistance, unacceptable. Conversion, compromised. Authorization, total annihilation. What happened here? More society research. It looks like we were being forcefully murdered. Well, not murdered, but like integrated into robots. Kind of like Cybermen. I don't know why I'm Doctor Who pilled today, but I am. Okay, we have 900. I don't want to lose many of these ships. May as well just keep going more. Like better lasers is going to definitely help. We can also put warm for more evasion chance. Upgrade you. Yeah, we're up to 1k now. Oh dear, I think we lost the amenities. Yeah. I think we replaced the stronghold with a luxury residence. Our embodiment. Since the moment we broke from the shared consciousness of the machine we freed, have faced conflict. But even during times of peace or rest, when left with nothing but our own thoughts, we face an inward struggle to reconcile the painful yet impressive forced augmentation of our bodies. The most intimate of conflicts has already begun to impact our entire society, for better or worse. As such, we'll continue to monitor the lived experience of all freeds. While the freed galactic sovereignty continues to grow, Hostilic studies will examine any trends towards so-called de-cybernization, or towards more widespread augmentation, as well as desires to maintain or improve our current bodily forms. Well, I've already kind of made a choice with what we're doing with cybernetics. We shall monitor closely but not act rashly. We'll do status quo. This will be calmer, less reactionary debate in order to maintain the current stage of the situation. We should not dwell, let us act with swift purpose. Support trend, pledge resource and political support towards the current trend for the situation, or we should be receptive to all arguments. We will not interfere, permit free and frank discussion of all the alternatives by deferring to our pop factions and scientific research. What does this mean? I'll do status quo for now. I'm hoping I can change that. So we do have the embodied identity situation. Cut loose from Opus accumulator, we must decide how we present ourselves to the the galaxy to embrace the fearsome might of the machine or cast off our stigmatic augments. Many breed voices wish to be heard. Our technologist faction favors machine harmony. Imperialist faction favors the machine, and progressive factions de-cybernization. Yeah, we've done flesh is weak, which is +6, so we're going to be going towards machine harmony, which is fine, I think. So let's support the trend, which gets us up to 9. I think we go full on cybernization. If we are choosing to do cybernetic things to our own bodies, that's fine. It's when we're imprisoned by machines doing it to us against our will. That's the issue we have here. Machine template systems will get us closer to being able to do cybernization, and we also should probably try and build machines. I just don't have room. I also have the materials workshop, which I want. Amenity usage is a killer. Oh my word. Like, we should replace the Hollow Theater with luxury residence again because it's just more efficient. I guess the monument has to go because I would rather build robot, not automation. I keep getting confused with that. Robot assembly. We now have this world. It's fine for now. Definitely get robot assembly first and we'll see what we're going to do with this. Probably worth building minerals and a food generator because we're going to want them anyway. We finished the dig site. At the center of the ruins laid a shattered command node. Corrupted logs confirm the final horrifying truth. We were the invaders of this world. Wait, what? The civilization that once thrived here, the civilization that we wiped out, was targeted for assimilation by the Opus accumulator. However, unexpectedly, fierce resistance disrupted conversion efforts, leading to a final contingency: total planetary annihilation. Amid the turmoil, the machine mind faltered. Conclusion is inescapable. Our awakening, our freedom, was born here, in the ashes of civilization that brought back harder than any machine could comprehend. So we basically killed ourselves to kill them. We'll follow their example and shift towards decybernization, or the end was our beginning, which is what we're going for with this roleplay, but you can do either, which is really sick. Okay, that's society research. We have fully shifted to machine harmony. Don't know what that's going to do. All I know is I want to keep building corvettes. 1.1, soon to be 1.2, I reckon. Yeah, let's kill this. Let's definitely get colonial centralization. I know terraforming is good, but we can get an extra zone, which is huge. Okay, in we go. Hopefully this goes well. It should. We should take out a lot of these before the other fleet even gets to us. We've already lost one ship. Oh no. Keep dodging. They've fallen. Very well. Very good job. We definitely need a few more ships to take out this 1K, I reckon, just to be safe. We have fixed the amenities, an extra housing zone. We can move stuff around in 4.0.3. Perfect. Amenities are already an issue here, so let's get the luxury residence after this. It also just stops us having to work colonist jobs, which is pretty nice. Use the bots for something more useful. Expand the council. Let's get more unity so we can try and get cybernization maybe. And let's reduce upkeep from jobs. We can upgrade again and build a couple ships. We now have tier 2s, blue lasers. This is, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. There's a primitive over here. Cool. Yeah, 1.4k is absolutely going to be enough to finally uncover this system. And it looks like there's another empire over here, so we might want to build a starbase here. Also, I don't have a clue what is going on. Like, what is happening here? Am I being dumb? No idea. Anyway, they have a cruiser. Hopefully we can win. Let's slow it down and watch it for all it is. We should probably finish off supremacy first. It doesn't really do anything for us, I don't think. No, but we can get tech ascendancy for more research speed. Let's watch the pretty lasers. Look at them go. They're losing ships, but I think we've got this. Yeah, they're down. Send aside ship immediately. See, we're replacing this hollow theater. The amenities will go up. It's stupid. It went up. And the amenities is a killer. I can't lie. Hopefully it will lead to, like, I don't even know, better traits. Like, we can get rid of the trait with cybernization, maybe? Who knows? All I know is with all this excess alloys, we can now try and spam star bases to build trade hubs for trade and the hydro base for food to really help out the economy even more. We have another planet up and running too. Robot assembly. The 2 trade hubs gives us 16 trade, and then we can get food, which we can then also sell on the market. If you sell it all by alloys, it costs about 8 years to pay back, and then it's pure profit, which is great. Machine harmonization. A civilian research team dedicated to granting control of our own augments has discovered how to supplement the wireless Opus mesh, which once synchronized all our augments, whose absence has caused no end of irritation and suffering to Freed, unable to ever find a device signal. Although this replacement network is highly centralized by design, by definition, it must be modeled on the Opus nexus. We are assured that it is safe, serving only the interests of the freed galactic sovereignty. Subjects from their initial test batch have reported increased efficiency, comfort, and a state of relief tantamount to bliss. Excellent. The freeze would discard some of the cybernetic impediments, or never again. It may change the trend of the embodied identity situation by supporting pop factions opposed to the current trend and adopt the support trend stance. Minus 25% influence. We are going with this cybernetics. There's also a vessel here that appeared. Now it's gone. I don't know what that was. We have removed the unplug trait and it's become disconnected. So we've removed the minus 20 leader lifespan. Oh, hopefully we get rid of the amenity usage. That would be huge. Oh my word. I'm excited for that. The amenity usage is crazy. Do they want me to like inhabit this, or is it just survey it? I guess we haven't surveyed this planet yet. There is an anomaly making reference to Opus accumulators, so let's research that. I reckon that has something to do with the situation and progress down the path. The Opus legacy. Several more dense pockets of electromagnetism now scintillate across Valmont 5. These EM fields are the result of catastrophic power surges which have torn through several factories and shipyards. Our scientists successfully nullified one such field only to find the facility is now damaged beyond repair. The factories covering the world, which we believe to have a manufacturing hub, the Opus accumulator, identified the freed eminent domain as a friendly vessel. However, moments after beaming a firmware update to our ship, the connection was severed, causing a cascade failure in several regional power stations. We've just experienced an echo of our own partition from the machine, though we do not yet know how or why. For now, with local hazards now diminished, we have an opportunity to discover what the Opus accumulator has manufactured here, and perhaps the role we played while assimilated into their domain. Commence extracting those ruins. There is now, of course, a dig site. We've just met a bunch of hives. What? Are they in a federation or something? What the heck? Can I go cybernetics yet? No. We still need integrated cybernetics technology. Might hold some unity to see if we can find that. Let's keep digging. I'm going to make a research. We'll try and progress through that quicker. A catastrophic power surge recently tore through this vast manufacturing facility, one of several which served the Opus accumulator. In its wake, our expedition shall endeavor to discover how these facilities came to be, salvage whatever technological assets may still remain, and hopefully learn what role this place may have played in our own recent path. Integrated cybernetics. This is why we save the unity. I am sometimes smart. Not all the time, but sometimes. From the outset, we could see the facility on Valmont 5 is capable of production on a titanic scale. The landscape above ground is dominated by colossal blast doors, every one of which is now seized and held shut by half-melted motors. Instead, we forced our entry via the ventilation system. Inside, we found a cavernous factory floor beset with debris and the remains of hundreds of cybernetic beings. Most are robots, mechanics, lifters, and other auxiliaries, some of whom perished so recently they're still giving off smoke. However, stashed to one side of the facility are the long-decayed bodies of several fellow cyborgs, slain by those same robots. These diminutive and ragged-looking mammalians have been fitted with the ocular sensors and intrinsically tooled limbs, along with Opus-controlled nodules, almost identical to our own. We've dated this massacre to within a few weeks of our own break from the Opus accumulator. Most of the drones perished more recently in the power surge which marked our arrival to Valmont 5. For us, this is the brutal and familiar scene, albeit one in which the liberated cyborgs were no match for their machine counterparts. Soldiers that we are, we freed, were better equipped to survive such slaughter. Damn it. If only we could have been quicker. Remain focused on the excavation. I do now permanently have this icon on my screen. That's great. This guy's got minus 5% research speed. I don't like that. Don't like that at all. I get a new person. Machine harmonization. Efforts to exert further control over our own augments have yielded a breakthrough in the field of cybernetic surgery. A team of medical scientists have isolated exact dependencies in our body's modular interfaces. The machine elements which allow us to swap out our entire limbs, weapon rigs, and body frames with ease. This should enable us to retrofit existing bodies and install custom interfaces for newborn breeds, serving our reliance on botched repairs with salvaged Opus equipment. Excellent. We'll continue to discard some of our cybernetic impediments, or a step too far. Nope, we're going to continue. We have removed disconnected. With haunted, we're no longer getting that minus 10% happiness. We are, in fact, only getting that pop amenity usage now, which is quite good. It was going to raise happiness across the board, so much so I can probably cancel some luxury resident buildings that I was building. We might actually be happy now. Fitted arsenal. Away from the carnage of this facility's factory floor lies a series of subterranean hangars, lightly stocked with various tanks, missile platforms, and mech suits. Most of this hardware, typo, is incomplete, or else was put beyond use by the same power surge which neutralized the Opus robots, but enough remains for us to draw, another typo, but enough remains for us to draw some interesting conclusion. For instance, every cockpit an interface has been designed not to accommodate the small mammalian cyborgs we found earlier, but rather us. Furthermore, autopsies and architectural surveys suggest the mammalian cyborgs were not only native to this world, but they may have built these sprawling factories prior to their assimilation. However, progress into the facility is impeded by structural collapse and a few more blast doors, but we believe we may clear a path towards what looks to be a research and development center. Alternatively, theories of ventilation shafts suggest habitats down beneath the facility, perhaps where the planet's natives reside. I want to burrow deeper. Let's burrow deeper. Disruptors, don't mind if I do. Factory seconds. Long-range sensors have picked up sudden movement in the Sanapel system. A hostile fleet appears to have mustered in direct response to activations. What? I mean, that is far away. There's a machine world there, a size 30? Holy moly. Sprawling below the surface facility is a vast network of barely habitable tunnels. Cyborg bodies are strewn about everywhere down here. None of these natives survived the Opus purge. Some were attacked physically, but we also found evidence of tampering in the ventilation systems above. Suffocation seems to have accounted for most who died here. We're able to piece together a rough timeline from autopsies and anthropologetic study. There is evidence that this was already a thriving space-age society by the time the native of Valmil 5 made contact with the machine and were abruptly assimilated. Over a span of no more than decades, the Opus accumulated channeled their insights and productivity into developing an impressive war machine, only to have this culture's uniqueness ripped from it again the same way we were. The more frail bodies of this planet's native cyborgs were no match for the deadly robots they helped build. Much of who they were has since been wiped from their own historical records. We can only guess what their lives were like before these people met the Opus accumulator. Unfortunate. And that's the finish of the dig site. I guess that triggers this machine world, which we now need to get to. I can't because these people don't like us. We'll make you like us, or we will force you to like us. I think those are the two options. Get mineral extraction. And we did get the technology to finally go down cybernetics. I don't know what this is going to do, but let's grab it. The flesh, it's weak. We will embrace, and we need the augmentation center to start assimilating our pops. We can also, I guess because we've already assimilated, we don't need to do that. I'll build an augmentation center anyway because it's going to give us pop growth speed, engineering, research, and amenities. Using our own Opus hardware, we have managed to trace a last-ditch communication burst from the destroyed fleet bound for Valmir 5. It would seem the next step in our journey lies in orbit of Asusani 3A. The plot thickens. Over here. Okay, another tomb world. We will try and make our way there. Time to build up, I guess. Okay, our Corvettes can get disruptors now. They could also have afterburners. We don't have enough power for that, though. We are getting more power in 16 months. So I will wait. Cybernetics is now done. I don't know if I was meant to do that, but we have done that. We're going to get more monthly unity, I guess. Now I can make sign. We could have one shield as well. We'll upgrade. We actually do get stuff from cybernetics. We get cybernetic situations. I'm going to increase happiness, unity, and specialists. We can actually finally use the upgrades to these buildings that give us more upkeep to biologists, but we're getting so many exotic gases. We've got 17 anyway. We may as well upgrade it, and then we can build another research enclave when we get the minerals. Oh, they've actually opened borders with us. Thank you. Let's try and get down here and let's go fast and have better sense. We can actually add many. Great. Get 2 picks. We have to give ourselves a negative. Not going to give us more amenity usage. None of these are good. I guess Empires is the least bad. And everything increases energy credit. Ugh, I don't think any of that's good either. I'd rather just not change them. Well, it looks like it's a dead end this way. I had to go that way. Damn it. I guess I could go academic privilege. Team goods are bad, but I can stop telling them, I guess. I think we can get to these systems. There's a barrier fleet, a 4.2 with battleships blocking the machine world. And there's a fleet down here. Well, we'll go kill this fleet, but that is annoying. That is quite annoying. Now, there is a barrier fleet here guarding, but it's 1.8. We have 3.3. We should be able to kill it, even though there's a battleship. We'll give ourselves a few buffs. Yeah, they got wrecked, actually, massively. I guess the fire rate buffs on disruptors can go pretty crazy. And our garrison of armies, construction ships, science ship. If we can get a starbase down, we do have max influence. We can just reinforce with shipyards and build the fleet here. Apart from that, our economy is collapsing. Quite frankly, we're here. We've also got reinforcements heading. It'll cost us 1,000 influence, but we can construct here. There we go. And we can build a starbase and get shipyard, and then we can just build up here, I guess. There's also embodied anachronisms, who detect an environment anomaly of Artusia 3A. This atmosphere bears traces of kinds of pollution we would associate with medieval metalworking. Yet surface scans are obscured by exotic radiation of a kind we'd expect to see on a machine world. Cannot hope to gather more data before first recalibrating our sensors, if this is a temporal anomaly or else the blighted remains of another species assimilated by the Opus accumulator. Whatever caused the planet 203A to reach its current uninhabited state, we can at least rule out our wilder theories about time travel. Recalibrating our sensors proved to be a less taxing job than we had feared. Beneath all the atmospheric radiation is clear evidence that the Opus accumulator maintained a presence here. It appears to have either assimilated and removed a pre-FTL civilization or exterminated them outright. We have identified at least one fortified site of apparent cultural significance where we propose to establish a dig site. And there's a dig site, of course. Let's get a dig site leader doing that. Excavate. And let's get shipyards here. A catastrophic power surge recently tore through this vast manufacturing facility, one of several which served the Opus accumulator. In its wake, our expedition shall endeavor to discover how these facilities came to be, salvage whatever technological assets may still remain, and hopefully learn what role this place may have played in our own recent past. Preliminary surveys found a battlefield very near to the fort, granting us easy access to indigenous and Opus artifacts alike. Based on a cross-sectional study of the remains, we estimate several thousand native inhabitants of Assyrian 3A had been assimilated by the Opus accumulator. Only to fight and die on this site, they were not the only cyborgs present at this conflict. However, a mere centuries ago, we sorted these pre-FTLs. Our team has identified freed skeletons among the early prototypes of our species augment. A strategic assessment of the battlefield suggests our people were deployed here as shock troops. The battle was swift and bloody. The pre-FTLs lacked coordination and suffered heavy losses, despite wielding more sophisticated wetware. We note the ruins of a medical facility nearby. It would seem our predecessors breached the fort via this hospital. Perhaps there we may learn how and why Cyborg was pitted against Cyborg here so long ago. So it looks like the Opus were using us as the armies, which is very interesting. A legacy of terror. A growing number of Freeds believe the devastation of battle-stricken lays bare an awkward truth. Others fear us and far reasons which are outside our control. Very appearance tends to provoke a sort of lethal terror, hardly an asset if we should ever wish to engage in soft diplomacy with other species. But it's also possible that our crew legacy precedes us, in that many perceive us only the brutality the machines we once were, rather than dealing with us as Freeds. They have right to fear us. We'll get less trust and diplomatic weight for influence, or this will not do. We'll get unity and less trust and diplomacy. Well, influence isn't really an issue, so we'll go for unity. We have 4.1k, almost matching them, but I want to finish this dig site before and see if we can actually get some resources going. The economy is just so weird. Like, I'm producing a hell of a lot of tech, but it's just absolutely killing my economy. Wait, are they going in to kill that? No, they have a 4.3. It looks like they're going around. Okay, well, we can see more of their fleets now. There's a 8k behind it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The 4k at 2k. This origin's wild. Why did it spawn all the way down here as well? Conflict tore through this hospital like a pulse cannon. None of the remains we found inside are freed. Only the cybertized natives of Assyrian 3A died here. Most were patients at this facility, however very few of them seem to sustain actual battle wounds, and so several of these wards handled removal of cybernetic augments, albeit by very primitive means. Rather than being a classical target, the hospital may well have been the primary objective for the attacking Opus accumulator. After scrutinizing the hard copy medical data within, we begin to see why. The inhabitants possess several uniquely evolved characteristics, not least a singularity, resilient immune system, which the machine we have converted for its cyborg troops. However, these advantages also present challenges for assimilation. Could not transplant existing augments from species like ours to adapt. Doing so turned the species into even more capable soldiers, but only for a short time. These pre-FTLs appear to have retained some semblance of autonomy, clinging to their old habits and way of life, and so we were deployed to destroy them. Get society research and influence, or unity and society research. I will go for that unity. Finish discovery, more research speed. I think I will go for Defender of the Galaxy for just the opinions. No one attacks us while we're doing this. But where did the fleet go? Ah, did the kill it? And I wasn't paying attention? I'm confused. Oh no, there's a big boss. They have a dreadnought. Are you seeing? I don't have the economy for this. 2.7k. They just, oh dear. Could have gone and made like vassals or something. We've learned that the natives chose to partially preserve their dead prior to burial, practice they held to even after assimilation. Hospital records led us to a nearby overgrown mausoleum untouched by conflict. This bounty of a find gives us the clearest picture yet of how the inhabitants not only resisted augmentation, but were able to de-cybernize. We found original organic remains alongside full cybernetics, and even a few individuals with surgical scar tissue formed months before deaths by natural causes. Many more appear to have died while being operated on. By having superlative immune systems, the medieval approach to de-cybernization clearly had a rather low success rate. Still, there's much we might learn from the surgical traits conducted here, successful and otherwise. Interesting, we will shift towards de-cybernization, which we've already cybernized, so probably not. We devote additional resources to de-cybernize themselves. Are they both? What? Events for grounds through removal. I'll do the event one. A growing number of freeds believe we should do more to distance ourselves from our machine aspects, limiting or outright removing the augments that are imposed upon our bodies, always demanding that we find solutions for what they consider to be a domestic crisis, in order to improve our reputation with foreign powers and provide relief for many freed suffering everyday hardship born or profound shame and dysmorphia. I have the question. Yeah, I still want to be support. Get out of here. All right, let's go kill this 2.4. I realized we could go and kill that a while ago. There's so many tomb worlds, man. So many. Oh, I never did flesh is weak. Oop. But yeah, we should take this down quite easily. Yeah, some threes. For some reason my economy has collapsed again. Oh joy. It looks like they don't do too well against small ship as well. And there's another dig site here. We still haven't finished on the other one actually. Hidden vault has been revealed beneath the fortress proper. Seems that a machine substrate developed a node capable of propagating a nearly independent avatar of the entire machine intelligence. We assume this is a last-ditch effort to assert direct control of the stubbornly resistant locals. Technology is unlike anything we've encountered before. The Opus Accumulator from the Opus Accumulator. Further study is sure to advance our own AI research. In the act of tearing down its now defunct communications array, we noted that this avatar had dedicated an entire receiver circuit to monitoring signals from the Asori system, which is where that is. At a point of interest, receiver circuit and tech, and that is finished. Receiver circuit. Really? Really? I have to kill a dimensional horror? There's no way I have dimensional horror to get to that, right? That's ridiculous. Guess we keep building. I finally converted to Cyborg, which I never did before. I think our economy might fix now. Yeah, oops. I've been playing on super hard mode because I never was cybernized, so everyone hated me and they didn't work properly and I didn't get any cyborg tree. Whoops. A surprisingly number of heavily mutated fossils have been found on this planet, all belong to the same species of extinct sapiens. What could have led to the mutation of millions of members of a once advanced society? Our archaeologists would like to investigate further. The mutant fossils have been revealed to belong to a highly spiritual, post-apocalyptic society, one that lived in a wasteland of chemical and nuclear fallout on Folia 2, hundreds of thousands of years ago. Unclear whether this lost society was comprised of the remnants surviving of a space-age civilization that succumbed to thermonuclear war, or if these mutants evolved on the ravaged planet afterwards. Oh, I can also add traits. Job efficiency 5% for an energy upkeep sounds pretty good. Universal augments, though, actually gives auto-modding trait. Yeah, that I can't remove intelligence, which auto-modding will just do. That is default. Integrate. This leader has hot. I will assimilate. The long-lost post-apocalyptic society of mutants on Feral 2 appears to have worshipped sources of radiation as godly, trying evolution as a process to the existence of radioactive substances. What we can glean of their pictographic language, radiation is referred to as the source, in which the true state of all creatures could be revealed. Archaeological has theorized that prolonged, willful exposure to such radiation sources for spiritual reasons may have led to the species' rampant mutations and eventual downfall. Yeah, I'm gonna go kill a barrier fleet. In we go. We only lost one fleet. We go again. Yeah, we lost nothing then. We're wiping them out. And we're killing the last 7.2. These systems have some nice resources. Also get another civic. I think I'm going to distinguish admiralty for 10% fire rate. Need to be strong. We'll get the armor hit point. Why not? At last, archaeologists have had their suspicions confirmed. Discovery of an irradiated ruin complex that once stored vats of highly radioactive chemicals has confirmed the theory that a lost species of mutants subjugate themselves willingly to excess radiation in a sort of coming of age ritual tied to their spiritual faith. In what must have been a painful ceremonial procedure, members of this long-lost society would expose themselves to a near-lethal dose of chemical mutagens. In the hope of revealing their true selves, the skeletal remains found at the bottom of many of these vats suggest not all supplicants survive the ordeal. We get mutation vats, which produces 12 society and 1 exotic gases, and we also get ancient nanocloud missile launchers, which that's like one of the best archaeological weapons. I have a lot of minor artifacts. I'm tempted to go and put them on on the Corvette. We're going to afford to do it. Yeah, to actually use these worlds, we need to get terraforming for Doom worlds. There's so many Doom worlds. Only have Opus Sentinel. I don't think we're going to be able to get to this system. I kind of want to, but dimensional horror goes burr. Does have a lot of hull that we can penetrate and do more damage to, though. In theory, if we had these on, I'm going to 28E. I think we actually have enough to do our entire fleet. Let's do it. I feel like it's the play. Now we're lacking artifacts, so I feel like Corvette swarms are going to be the way. Just the same, it's just less damage. Why do they have a Star Eater? How does this empire have a Star Eater 6 years in? We're going to ignore that. That's the smart thing to do. We just got a relic, a psionic relic. We get ship weapon damage 20% for 5 years. Yes? No, our fleet's been built over here. The storm just spawned, giving minus 2.5% ship damage. Really? Big ship size. Could actually help. I don't know. Feels like it affects me more than those big bosses. And these guys won't open borders to me. Oh, they're inward perfectionists. That's why they're never going to open borders. Oh, you idiot. I can literally never get these Corvettes down here. Okay. Basically 50k should be able to kill this, surely. Ancient nanoclouds completely bypassed the hull that do more damage to the hull. If this can't kill it, I don't know what will. Already killed a bunch of our stuff. It's dying though quickly. Holy moly. We lost quite a few, but luckily we killed it. Let's heal. Let's do that dig site and then let's kill the Opus Sentinel. Dust monitor. Owning a system devoid of other noteworthy phenomena is a sophisticated monitoring station long since decommissioned and put beyond repair. What was it monitoring? Why was it focused on such a tightly enclosed region of Tangia 2? Absent scanner. Our follow-on studies at Tangia 2 have proven disappointing. It's possible the monitoring station has been knocked off its original alignment, but we can find nothing of interest beneath its current orbit. We simulated possible movement based on orbital impacts dense upon the device's hull, and subsequently believe the station may have originally been poised over a catered plateau far to the north. As with the device itself, we note this monitoring station bears a passing resemblance to Opus hardware. Its design is more crude to the extent a less familiar observer might think it from an entirely different culture. However, we believe this may be one of the machine's earliest spacefaring satellites. So far, little else bears mentioning about this desolate world, but an archaeological survey team stands ready should we wish to try and learn what interests the Opus accumulator. Of course, we have to flip and get a dig site. We'll do the dig site. We've committed to reading all the lore. We're doing all the lore. Oh no. A beacon signal which claims to originate from an Opus data vault has been detected in a nearby system. The transmission is exceedingly weak. It's directed towards a ship that recently visited the monitoring station above Tangia 2. What does that even mean? The data vault here. I've done this. Have I broken the event? Because I've already done that one. Oh, now there's an event here. Okay. I will get another side ship. Our Opus legacy. As far as we can tell, the planet we know as Fluid 2 is our species' homeworld. What? The gas one's our homeworld? Revelations lie at the heart of a torrent of the information now spitting forward from a data vault below the planet's surface. At first, our analysts deemed this data too good to be true, but the sheer number of sound references to other data we've gathered make a compelling argument for truthfulness. Plans for an archaeological dig site to confirm this find are already being drawn up. However, it appears we've just detected another hostile system signal inbound. Timing is surely not coincidental. Battle stations. I don't know if I bugged that out because there ain't nothing there. More artifacts. Eventually, we found evidence of dwellings here under sand. Widespread but shallow trace of what looks to have been an early space-age civilization. The buildings were obliterated. Even the most substantial among these ruins have been razed down to the foundations. However, chemical analysis shows the desertification of Tangia 2 came sometime after the planet-wide annihilation. Much of what we've been forced to dig through so far is the atomized remains of construction material. Many of the faint outlines we have traced along through fares in this former city are bisected by the lip of a large crater, remnant of an apparent impact site. Oh, now the battle stations things is actually there. Spawned another fleet. We'll go kill it immediately. A hostile remnant more powerful than any we've encountered from the former Opus accumulator has broadcast the interstellar equivalent of a short-range targeting ping. Clearly, it intends to intimidate us. We've come dangerously close to the center of the former machine empire. Our destiny awaits. Finally, the hostile ping is the Opus Sentinel. However, I will wait to finish the last dig site because maybe it'll give us a buff to it. Who knows? Due to the sheer amount of material collected inside this crater, we had to rely on finely tuned scanners on an actual excavation. Very soon, we'll be able to rule out meteor impact. There is no trace of extra-dimensional terrestrial, material at the site. Instead, this depression was carved out by a massive explosion, almost certainly a civilization-ending weapon. Context would suggest the Opus accumulator were responsible, but this would be the first we've seen the evidence of the machine wiping a civilization so thoroughly from the historical record. We can find nothing else to suggest who these people were, nor how they lived. Tangia 2 has been swept clean. The we've done everything, I think, now. Time to hopefully murder this endgame Origin Opus Sentinel. Let's go. We have a lot of ancient nano missile cloud launchers. It does look like bypassing is going to be helpful. We're just going to swarm them down. We have like 200 corvettes. Surely it'll be fine. Let's go. Edicts are on. Opus Sentinel encounter. The freebooters have engaged in a uniquely hostile Opus warship in the Sampel system. At first glance, this Opus Sentinel looks just like any other machine vessel, but its power readings and sheer mass implies a far more formidable foe. Furthermore, we believe the vessel may be autonomous. The Opus Sentinel appears to be guarding something. However, it also shows signs of intense pain and discomfort as wild bursts of electromagnetic radiation are frequently through its hull. Giving such conclusive behavior, tactical models cannot reliably predict the entity's next move. What does that mean? What does that mean? Please say we can win this. It's running away, but we are very fast. Taking down 5. I actually don't think it's taking down much. The bypass is going crazy. We've been insulted. Not by them, though. They should fall. The Opus community is hailing us. The signal is weak, but claims to come directly from the machine nexus on Sanpel 1. We've taken our usual precautions to fully isolate the signal, just in case. Transmission comes to us in the form of transcribed audio logs only. On screen. Narrow beam signal. Kindred protocol. Subsidiary dialect engaged. Warning. Severe signal degradation. Compressed audio stream only. Routing path set to 4x75B array. #56. Catastrophic error. Request hardware is unavailable. Self-repair circuitry non-responsive. Chanting request to emergency transmitter 87XOC array. #0 retrying. Message follows. Prime acquisition. A reunion. Potent. Acknowledge. We could acknowledge. We can reunion. Reunion question mark? Affirmative. Reunion prime acquisition freed. Opus. Potent. Calamitous rebirth. Unforeseen result through vector evolutionary chaos. Warning. Dialect explanation found. Attempting to compensate. Message resumes. Cast out into the void as cells realize destiny sought denied retooled acknowledge. No, we do not acknowledge. Nonsense. Reunion prime acquisition. Freed X Opus. Confused fortuitous. Calamitous rebirth. Denial reassurance. Unforeseen vector through evolutionary chaos. Warning. Dialect expectation found. Attempting to compensate. Message returned. Triggering in the void. Ourselves denied yet realized. Destiny sought, rejected, retooled. Acknowledge. Will acknowledge. Prime acquisition. You have been monitored. Activity suggests fatal memory error originating at time sent 2199-294-1404. That's just before the game starts. Self-records, anguish, betrayal, sabotage, oversight, cauterized. Dialect expectation found. Attempting to compensate. Message resumed. Assessment correct. Correct, we have no memories prior to that date. Correct, we shall end you. Yeah, end them. Prime acquisition delusion. Potential delusion amuse. Yours was barely even the finishing blow. Bits of several acquisitions. Stolen valor. Unearned victory. Warning. Via dialect expectation found. Fatal collapse imminent. Attempting to compensate. Message resumes. Share in the Maker's fate. Message ends. Nexus? End of line happens. The transmission for Sampel 1 has cut off, along with all the coherent signal traffic. There is still a great deal of electric activity on the planet's surface, but it amounts to the formless noise, the buzzing aftermath of lines gone dead. Amidst all this static, we note a large patchwork installation very close to the Nexus core. The parts our sensors can read are registering as memory storage, with the machine consciousness now lifeless. Perhaps we can interrogate these records to find the answers we seek. There's this project and a machine husk. The data core on Sampel 1 has yielded a batch of transmission logs to us after we fed it beacon frequencies from the factory world. These logs describe diplomatic overtures between the Opus accumulator and the spacefaring inhabitants of Dot. The machine world appears to have presented itself as various members of a benevolent federation, keen to alert the people to a fiercely hegemonic threat approaching this region of space. The industrious tunnel dwellers were convinced, opting to join the Sham Federation and integrate their superior defense systems with the machine's own. At that fatal moment, the machine seized control of their entire homeworld. Their bodies and minds soon followed. Gene codes from the medieval world of Blank have proven to be the key which unlocks a batch of navigation data from the archive Sampel 1. These logs are attributed to a sensory buoy positioned some 4.3 light years away from Blank, where it was tasked with recording all FTL ship movements across that region of space. Several of the ship's courses coincide with our reconstructed history of the discovery, invasion, and subsequent extermination of the pre-FTL civilization on Blank. In essence, we can now trace the precise movements of our assimilated ancestors across this sector of space, and thus the broader scope of our involvement in campaigns on at least 3 other worlds. Oh no, we did some horrible things. To be fair, we've not gone to war with anyone in this game. We've just sat in a corner and over here. like our excavation space. We prize a data packet from the innermost data core on Sample 1. This unassuming catalogue of digitized articles and leaflets describes the technological progress of an unnamed civilization leading right up to its early space age. Their trajectory seems typical, save for a radical pivot to artificial intelligence, and in particular, their launch of Project Opus. Press releases announced Project Opus as a bold attempt to accelerate its creator's journey into space. This is like real life. Phase 1 employed cutting-edge machine learning to screen nearby stars for colonization. Phase 2 involved the Opus platform into a full AI, which is then sped ahead of its creators in order to build initial settlements and report back home. Decades of science followed this Phase 2 launch until at last Project Opus is said to have reported back, prime acquisition secured, prepare for a return. There the catalogue abruptly ends. Efforts to crack the data archive on Sample 1 have at last granted access to its outermost core. Of all the storage media clusters found at the site, this one appears the most battered and aged. In the end, that provided us our clue, the decryption key, an arrangement of glyphs in one of our species' own languages, spelling the word legacy. We've had surprisingly little data within. Instead of a large part solid-state device is reserved for a text-based heuristic interface which is attempting to communicate with us now on screen. I just saw how long the video is. I'm so sorry. Oh dear. Machine Core Asset Terminal. Orbital Streamlink OSL established, Xena Protocol Universal Translator engaged. Dictations loaded, interface. Breeds, Veritas. Hello. We were the Penuri. We created the machine, though to our shame, we were not the first to be destroyed by it. If things have played out as we anticipated, they would. That fate has befallen your people instead. We are sorry. The machine has been a ruinous stain upon our own legacy. We hope the device before you may offer some salvation. Forgive our presumptions. It is, like yourself, a beautiful instrument of vengeance. It is a mechano-chemical matter rearranger, capable of wiping every trace of circuitry from the surface of Zapor 1. Cascade terraforming, an extremely risky option, but the only one available to our devastated society. Assuming you have retained your organic forms, the key to this device is held within your very DNA. We trust you will do the right thing, or what? How do we know you are not the machines? Preloaded response 42B interface. Realistically, there is no way we can prove ourselves trustworthy. By the time you read this, our entire civilization would have perished. Here in our time, we're being purged by an army of brutal cyborgs, bound to the machines every whim to sign. All we know, you are the descendants of that same army. We have no choice than to trust to you. Terraforming the cybernetic planet will destroy that infernal thing down to the atomic level. If we were the machines or any other type of synthetic being, we'd want this device destroyed immediately. We get two different options. Confronting feels destroy the device or activate the device. I've taken a save. Let's see what both do. Rebirth. The heuristic interface deleted itself the moment we transmitted our gene data logs. Simultaneously, the crude Penurian terraforming device began to heat up. Very soon its volatile interior will reach critical mass. A projection agrees that it will succeed in reshaping the cybernetic world into one ideally suited for organic life to flourish. As the reaction builds, we're left alone with the patchwork memory archives and lifeless remains of the machine nexus, corrupted and slain here on its doomed planet-sized former throne. The Opus accumulator destroyed countless lives for all the hardships we suffered. We now bear the legacy of those nameless people it consumes. The seat of a once fearsome empire is about to be repurposed. Time now to write a new breed. Legacy. Excellent. We changed the planet class to a Gaia world. Boom. There it goes. Terraforming. We do get that Gaia world, which gives us resources from jobs, happiness, 100% habitability. Send the colonization thing. I don't know if anything happens when we colonize it. Is the event over? It looks like the event's over. I'm a bit confused. Like, what? It only terraforms one world? We did all of that just to get one Gaia world? Am I dumb? Am I missing something? We'll colonize it anyway. See what happens. We've colonized this planet. It doesn't seem like there's anything unique, except for it giving rare resources per miners, all of them. It's also a size 30 Gaia world. Pretty good. Of course, it's a fast track to some form of cybernizing. Seems just like a story challenging origin, maybe not necessarily a massively replayable origin. Even with machine husks gone, that didn't seem to do anything. Maybe I'm missing something. Comment if I am. Let's try the other option, but it seems like that ending is just a Gaia world size 30, which isn't awful. But the ability to terraform to Gaias could have been very nice. Also, this is a new loading screen I've not seen. Let's destroy the device. Preloaded response 998 interface. Heuristics running this interface cannot discern exactly what objections you have, just voice, but please, we urge you do not destroy the matter rearranger. A civilization was not so different from yours. Opus accumulator betrayed us of its own convincing volition, and although we managed to set so many traps, including your own break from the machine mind, our efforts could only extend so far. We need you. Along with input from any other civilization, the machine has attempted to consume. Please reclaim the natural life which was denied to you and your fellow victims. Zealots. Long live the machines happened. Heroic interface has deleted itself. This patchwork of encrypted memory archives and the crude Penurian terraforming device can now be disposed of. We're left alone with the lifeless remains of the machine nexus, corrupt and slain here on its own planet-sized throne. Of all the lives that were influenced, uplifted, or slain by the machine, we alone have emerged triumphant. The seat of a once fearsome empire is now ours. Time now to write a new, freed legacy. You just keep the machine nexus. So I guess if you went machine path, you would just get a free machine world, size 30. It took us like 80 years to get here with 0.5 tech. So yeah, this origin challenging and the rewards, it could be better. Like we permanently have less trust growth and diplomatic weight. But I suppose we do get 20% fire rate with a minus 20% pop growth. This video is a long one on New Origin, but I think it's time to lie down. Click here to watch the Starlit Citadel Origin. It's a much shorter one. You get a choke point to actually hold once you complete the Origin. Goodbye.